Hi, I'm LeeAnn Baker. I'm the principal of LeeAnn Baker Interiors in Seattle, and we focus on high-end residential interior design. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest. My family had a cabin up in the San Juans, and we'd spend a lot of our summers up there. Basically, we get out of school and go up there. And it rains a little bit in the Pacific Northwest. And so even in the summer, we had a TV, but it didn't have cable. So we didn't have television to watch. So I'd sit indoors and play Legos. And I would make, instead of like building things, I'd do really square floor plans. And I love to build furniture and kind of play with things like that. So in college, I was interested in architecture, but I didn't want to spend 5 years in Seattle to get the architectural degree. So I did art history with kind of a minor in architecture so I could go to the New York School of Interior Design, where I lived and worked in New York for 7 years and got an associate's degree there in interior design, and then worked for an architect and an interior designer, and then eventually came back to Seattle and started my own firm. Currently, there are 5 of us working full-time, but we also work with a consultant. We have hired a fractional COO and HR person to help us with the team. We've had as many as 8 team members, but I'm a little more comfortable with a smaller team. But right now, we're at a place where my team's like, we're still busy. I'm feeling like we're not as busy as we have been, but I think we've been drinking from a fire hose since about 2018. So we're in a good place right now, where we've been focusing on our elevating our drawings and getting all of our drawing standards together to make sure that everything is cohesive and all of our layers and line weights are saying exactly what we want them to. And we've also been updating our schedules and so that all of our client-facing documents look cohesive and have a similar theme going through them. They had a professor from Harvard Business School come and talk to us, and it was that we were studying a 500-person company, which I thought, this has nothing to do with me. But really, throughout the whole thing, we realized the importance of HR. And so I started thinking, like, how could I use HR? Like, I can't afford a full-time HR person. So I started researching online, and I found someone that had kind of CFO and HR capabilities, and to hire them to help us with both, even though they hadn't really been focused on the interior design industry. Just having someone that my team could go to and talk to and will help me with reviews and helps me with hiring, and has even been there on Zoom when I've had to let someone go. It's incredibly helpful and makes me feel, as a solopreneur, it just helps to have someone who's holding your hand through some of these more challenging times. I'm a member of the Design Leadership Network. I've been involved with Gail Dobie coaching and consulting in the past. I'm a big proponent of being kind of a learn-it-all leader as opposed to a know-it-all leader. Like, I'm constantly learning. I think the Pacific Northwest struggles a little bit in terms of connectivity, because although there are a ton of fabulous designers here, there aren't as many opportunities to network as there are in some of the bigger cities. So I'm hoping that changes. I know our design center is working really hard to kind of promote new activities and things. So there's a lot of fabulous designers here, but I tend to connect with designers when I'm in other cities. I've got a couple people taking an AI class right now so that we can learn to start implementing that in a few new ways. We've been testing out the AI note taker app because we've noticed on some projects we get a lot of people, not necessarily from our team, but other team members that will make a lot of promises but not be taking very many notes. So we're finding that having the AI note taker app help jog their memory before the next meeting. Almost all of my clients are through word of mouth or through relationships I've established with architects and contractors, which I find to be really important. I think actually most of my my referrals have come from contractors I've worked with. But our typical client tends to be, most of them are high net worth individuals who are very busy. We currently are working on projects from Maui to Rhode Island, but all of those are relationships that are kind of based in the Pacific Northwest. So they're clients we've had here and kind of gone elsewhere. And, I got an email from a client of mine. We'd done their family room, and she emailed me to say that her father had been in hospice and that she'd been spending her most peaceful hours in this room, either having a cup of coffee or spending time with her husband and kids. And she was so grateful to have this beautiful room that we'd worked on together. And that was totally my why, and how, what I love about this job is, making people who are so busy and travel and have other homes, but, giving them a place where they can be together with the ones they love. Everyone's like, oh, you're an interior designer, you must have such an amazing home. I actually, 10 years ago, my husband and I bought the house that I grew up in from my mom. And so that's where we live. And we are slowly, although I advise to no one, doing one room at a time as we renovate the house.